Sitting in for the voice of the Longhorns, this is Roger Wallace. We are live at Pluckers, the Longhorn Weekly with head football coach Charlie Strong. And, well, Charlie, 8th straight week you guys have to line up. You'll play 9 straight weeks. That's a grind. You come off, such a disappointing loss to West Virginia, but then, you got to put that in the back pocket. You got guys banged up. You got to get ready for Kansas. You got to go back to work. How do you kind of manage all that this late in the season?
Really don't think about it, Roger. Well, you're right. We haven't had any weeks off because our open date was so early, and we do have some guys banged up. But we just you got to put it behind you. You have to go to work. We've had a really good week this week, and guys have been locked in and practicing well. And, you look at the center position, we've, moved guys around. We have enough guys in place where we can move them around and get them in position to be effective. But it's going to be important that we get off and go play a really good football game and get off to a good start.
It's interesting you brought that up because everyone talks about, obviously, Shane, your true freshman quarterback. But I remember when Dom Espinoza went down, and you said that was as big as David Ash going down. You got a true freshman quarterback getting a snap from a true freshman center, and obviously playing very well this year.
Well, you think about it. When Dom went down, it was Ash went down, then we lose both of them. And now you get late into the season here, and what hurt us is we had lost McMillan the week before, and he's been a backup center for us. And now we lose Shaq, so we have to take Rodriguez and move him inside now. So we got enough guys that we can play around with. There's Rodriguez, there's Cooney, there's guys that we can put in place where we can move the puzzles and be effective.
Well, the one guy you got there's Connor Williams, one of 5 semifinalists for the Outland Trophy, sophomore. He's allowed 1 sack, and Charlie, I imagine most fans don't watch the left tackle when they're watching a game.
No, they really don't.
Explain how impressive Connor Williams has been.
Well, you think about the left tackle, is always to the backside of the quarterback, and he's always blocking the blind side. And Connor is not only is he a really good football player, Roger, he is an unbelievable young man, a business major, and you talk to him, and he was one of those guys. I don't know if you saw the piece on him. When he was growing up, he was bullied, and we did a piece on him, and he talked about it, and he opened up with it. And you will look at Connor. Here's Connor, 6'5", 6'6", and 300-plus pounds, and you would never think that looking at him. And I was teasing him one day. I said, "You being bullied?" He said, "Yes, Coach." But I was a little bitty guy at that time. But it's just how effective he is, and he's protected Shane so well. And if you ever just watch him, it's sometimes you just watch him in the game. Like I was watching him there against Saturday, and it was so funny where he got one of the guys from West Virginia to throw a punch at him because he was blocking him, and he blocks to the whistle.
Well, you got another guy on the line in Kent Perkins, and I thought he had something really interesting to say this week about blocking for Deontay. And it's got to be warm a running back's heart to hear a guy say, "I want to block my butt off for Deontay Foreman." I mean, that's where it all starts up front. So the respect there is pretty cool.
Well, the reason why, if you look at it and you look at what the offensive line has done, and then you look at what Deontay has done, 1,600-plus yards, and so that's why it's been so effective. And those guys, our offensive line don't get the credit they deserve, Roger, but they are blocking, and they're opening up seams, and my man Deontay, he's able to hit those seams, and a lot of those runs that he having, he gets to the second level like right away. I mean, the seam is open. He's to the second level because of the job our offensive line is doing.
Well, let's talk a little about Deontay. I mean, he had a tough defense to face in West Virginia. Still goes for 167 semifinals for the Doak. A lot of Heisman chat. What is he like Sunday through Friday and his work ethic?
Well, it's amazing how he's able to take his work ethic from the football field. He takes it from the football field. He takes it off the field. But he is so effective with his work ethic, and it's fun to see. And you think about that young man. He's at practice. He works so hard at practice. Then he goes right from practice, and he gets it done. And unbelievable young man. He's a guy that's very humble, a guy that really where he is right now, it doesn't surprise me. Never thought at the beginning of the season, because if you think about it, the way we started this thing off, he's sitting there, him and 25 are sharing carries. And then 25, we lose him, and now all of a sudden this guy shoulders the load and just takes off with it.
And cool moment at halftime when he got to speak briefly with Earl Campbell, 11th consecutive 100-yard game, and he's very humble when he talks about those moments being mentioned in the same breath.
He's very humble, and you think about Earl. I mean, there's an icon right there, and you have a chance to tie his record and follow in his footsteps, and it's amazing because you think about what Earl. No one ever thought they'll see a back like Earl. I mean, we still haven't seen that back, but you get a guy like Deontay who's big and physical and who runs the football that can match it with physicality and speed.
Well, we're just getting started here at Pluckers. We're going to bring in the great Quan Cosby. We're going to talk to some UT volleyball players as they get to the home stretch of their regular season. You're listening to Longhorn Weekly on the Longhorn IMG Radio Network.
Out of the pistol with the snap, flings it out left side, ball is caught, shaking a tackle, touchdown Texas, Colin Johnson. One catch, one nifty move, 20 yards to the end zone.
Welcome back to Pluckers, Longhorn Weekly with head coach Charlie Strong, and that play by the future Colin Johnson, the freshman receiver from San Jose. We've got the past great receiver, Quan Cosby here. Hey, Quan.
My man said you the past.
For real, that's pretty good.
Past never will be.
Man, I'm old.
Quan, you're right down there, and we'll get, obviously, Charlie's thoughts, but a guy like Colin who came in with a lot of hype. He's got the pedigree. And really coming into his own, 11 catches, 3 touchdowns the last 2 weeks. What do you see out of Colin that you like?
Man, everything. I see what God didn't make me like. I stopped at 5'10". Height-wise,
you know. He kept growing to 6'6".
Oh my goodness, just first-round body. But more than anything, what I see from Colin and what I hear from you and Craig is, oh, and there was another true freshman. Oh, that was another sophomore. What I see from all these guys is the growth, man, and then you love it. Again, Coach Strong, the guys, I saw it on their face post-game, coaching staff. Nobody's happy with the way the last game ended. But when you really go watch film, or when you watch it on the level that we watch it, what you see every week is that growth from a Colin Johnson coming out of his shell. Those who don't know say, well, why wasn't he doing that game too? Well, no, it's a process, especially with young guys like that. It's a process. It's growth. I don't know if I said it on that show, but I'm a better driver now than I was when I was 17 years old. I've slowed down a lot. So it's so cool to see, win or lose. It's cool to see the process. It's cool to see those guys growing up, not every game, but every play.
Well, you think about his offense, and it'd take him some games. And in the beginning, he was just in and he's playing some. Right. But now he has grasped the offense and he's making plays, and he's a big guy. And that, I think that's what's really deceiving, because everybody look at his height and don't think he can run. And he can run. He can get out. He's got enough speed. He got enough quickness, can bend his body. And Roger, that's what you like about him. And he works hard. Every day after practice, him and Shane stays after practice and throw a ball. Shane throws the ball to him every day after practice.
I was watching the tape of that, and you can see Shane's eyes cut to the left, and he saw that man coverage. And we hear from the receivers, you got to earn your scholarship by breaking one tackle. And that was a great example.
And that's what I said. I think y'all came to me right after, and I said, listen, the guy's 6'6", but he plays from a move perspective, from a route standpoint, and he's still early on in the routes, but he plays 5'10". It's easier for us smaller guys to get in and out of those routes, to be in the slot. But I've seen him in the slot now, running the corner route, a couple of touchdowns in Lubbock. Last week, went back to the outside, made a little shimmy move, and went and scored. He's a big body, but he's what he needs to be at that moment. And that's rare in receivers, running backs, whatever it may be. So that's why, it's so much promise in that kid.
Well, but not only him, but look at the game that Dorian had. Yeah. Like last year, you take a Dorian Leonard, he didn't. I don't even know how many balls he called, if he called any last year. The game he just played, it was unbelievable. The over-the-shoulder catch and the balls that he was catching. But it's almost like each and every week a different receiver. And that's when you talk about just progress. That's why I love this football team, because just how much progress they're making. And you look at the offensive line, you got an offensive line that's blocking for a 1,600-yard rusher. Yeah. And it's a line that, look at the second game, we had some guys that were beat up some, but now you're able to take the puzzle and move pieces around. And Connor Williams is having an unbelievable year. And even inside with Perkins and those is enough guys with Vahi, would get different guys that are rotating in, Jake McMillan, Nicholson on the outside, but you got guys that are moving. And then the running back position, I mean, what can you say about the guy? And he's got 2 games left with 1,600 yards, so we'll see where he ends up. And then the wide receivers, we just got through talking about the quarterback. I mean, he's a freshman. There's a true freshman there at quarterback. Would you see the progress being made?
Coach, I have to put this in perspective. So 57-6 is my 4 years. And I don't know Jamal's total yards per season, but I know for a fact, you take away Jamal's year that he left, I didn't have a 16-yard rusher any of those seasons.
Yes.
Our national championship year, we did not have a 1,600-yard rusher. My junior year, my senior year, we didn't have that. So when he say a guy's blocking for that and he has at least 2 more games left, that is so big. And then let's not forget what those guys are doing on the back end. They got a lot of scrutiny starting this thing, and they answer the call. Coach answered the call. What Boyd is doing right now, the strides that he's making. Bonnie, the strides
look at
that
this,
these guys are making. Malik, I sat down, and he's been balling. Unfortunately, he got banged up that play, but that's what it's about. And when you come in a program, you want to see progress, and that's what no one can argue is that slowly but surely these guys are making plays, getting closer to being, and they're just so close from being 4 or 5 game difference. It really is that much. Coming from a guy who's did it and had the senior leadership, and we haven't even talked about that, the leaders they're becoming. So it's really cool to see down there. I get fired up every game seeing this and that, and that's what I look for. And fortunately, from that perspective, it's been cool to see.
20 players have made their first career start. 32 true freshmen have played. 16 have started over the last 2 years. That speaks to what the future looks like. And the turnovers, Coach, I mean, that's the lifeblood of a defense, especially in this conference when, it's about stops, it's not about stats, and you got 12 in the last 5 games, and that's made a big difference.
It was so funny, Roger. I was talking to Coach McWilliams, and when he was at practice yesterday, and he said, you know what now, Charlie, the way I look at a defense, just go get a stop. And get in this conference, get a stop and get the ball back for your offense. But you get the turnovers, and that's critical. But you have to be able to disrupt the offense, and you got to give them different looks. But, you talk about, look at the year that Hager and Roach, I mean, there's a freshman, there's a sophomore, 2 guys that are really playing well. And those guys are young guys, and they're really having a good year. So it's a combination of guys and guys that are playing well.
PJ Locke's a guy that stepped up, and we hear him talk, and he really seems to have it together. On that back end, Charlie, because of how the season started, how do you improve in the middle of a season when you're getting ready for game to game to game, and it's not about, training camp?
You know what you have to do, Roger? You have to show them their mistakes, and they have to learn from their mistakes. And we were getting the ball just thrown over our head, and this should never happen, especially when you're playing 3-deep coverage. And even when you're playing man, if your eyes are in the right place, the ball shouldn't be, if anything, knock it down. But I look at the plays that Bonning has made the last few weeks, and it's the defensive back is a position where you have to have a short memory. Mm-hmm. And look at my guy Boyd. I mean, Boyd will get, a ball will get thrown, and he act like nothing happened, and he bounced right back up. And next time he's gonna go make a play. And PJ's coming on really good. And Dylan Haynes, it's just, if the ball is there, he's going to intercept it. He's going to find a way to get that interception. And Jay Hall's just a bigger version who can come down in the box for us. But it's just been pleasing to watch how we have eliminated all those big throws over our head.
A touching moment last weekend with Tim Cole. His father had a medical issue before the game, and you let the team made aware of it. Tim had some nice messages on social media thanking fans, but I mean, those are the little things that sometimes we forget about. I mean, these kids have lives, and you got 120, kids that you have to look after, and things happen.
Well, what happened, Roger? We were on our way to the stadium, and we get the phone call, and they said, hey, this has happened to Tim's dad, and he said it's right near the Stampede. And he said, what do you want to do, Coach? And I said, well, you have to tell him. Because if you don't, there's other parents are there. They're going to say something to their child, and they're going to either text them or ask them what's going on. And I said, so when we arrived at the Stampede, everyone's getting off, and I told Tim, I said, hey, just sit down for a second. Let everybody get off. I need to talk to you about something. And then we made them aware of the situation. They went right over to the EMS truck. But you're right. You don't realize that. And, you get ready to play a game, and then all of a sudden it's like everything stops. And this is way more important. You're talking about a player's father's life, and so it kind of stops, and so then we always gather up there at midfield. So I told the players when we got to midfield what had happened, and then some of them were like, oh my God, they just couldn't believe what had happened. So I go in the locker room, and I come back out, and I'm standing there, and there comes Tim, and I said, where you ready to go to the hospital? And there, he's like, no, I'm going to play. I said, you going to what? He said, I'm going to play. I said, no, Tim, no, you don't need to play. We're good. You don't need to play. He said, no, my dad would know. He would not mind if I played, Coach. I want to play. This is the only way I can get my mind off of it. And I said, oh, well.
And I think he was the second leading tackler, maybe?
Yes,
I know he was in the top 3, and it says so much for Tim. And again, man, it just – those little things like that, bringing it, back to the surface level. The guy playing and not just playing, but playing hard, having a really good statistical game. And so, man, you need those moments to bring it back to earth.
Yes.
And that was a huge moment. Me walking up to the stadium, I saw a college student collapse and having seizures.
Yes.
And so it was an interesting, weird day for me personally, for the team. Mm-hmm. But those moments like that just remind you that. Have fun doing this, grow doing this, possibly have a career. It's your job, but feeling for the players on so many levels, on the things they deal with. Oh yeah, by the way, and then they have that we need to play hard and try to win this football game aspect. So kudos to Tim for having a good day during a really tough time, and the team and coaches for rallying around him.
We're going to take a break, come back with more. Longhorn Weekly with Charlie Strong live from Pluckers continues on the Longhorn IMG Radio Network.
Zone read keeper, Bouchel wide open on a trick to the end zone.
Now the speed of Shane Bouchel. Back on Longhorn Weekly, Charlie Strong and Quan Cosby. Well, Charlie, that play parted by the Red Seas there. Shane had open turf, and he was running for his life.
He was, and you know what happens when you fake that ball at 33, everybody closed down on him, and Shane pulled it and saw the opening and took off. And it was good that the distance was where it was. And I was just hoping he could just break away, and I was like, oh, God, he may go. But it's so much fun to watch him because you watch his development like each and every game and how much better he's gotten and the way he can spin the ball and how effective he is. It's so fun to watch his progress.
And it's really cool to see. And what I, of course, from my perspective, outside looking in, they were blitzing, not just falling on 33. They were blitzing corners, safeties, whatever. And, I mean, they were all going to 33. They're flat out saying, so, the true freshman into seeing that and making that read and making plays, because I think he had the most rushing yards he's had all year. And to just see that development, because there's some things we all prepare. We all do a lot of things, but y'all probably saw it. I didn't. I didn't see that wrinkle coming, and they were going to be coming that strong. But that's an on-the-field adjustment he saw or read that he made. We've seen him do it from a passing perspective, but to see that read, make some runs, huge first downs, of course, a touchdown, just shows just the promise of Shane. And every single week, we've seen it in the air. He throws it as well as I don't care what anyone says, as well as anyone across the country. But now showing those little legs he have and making plays for that offense is big.
Well, it's just almost like he's done a great job of just see it. Like he sees the field now. And he could check, what it's so amazing. Like he'll check us into a play. They'll check out the defense. He'll check us back into the play. Then they'll check, and then we'll check back again. So but he's just doing a great job of just seeing it. And it's just so funny to watch just his whole preparation, how he walked into the game.
No questioning his toughness after Saturday. Man, he was.
Wow.
I mean, he hung in there.
Well, the one that I didn't think he was going to get up, Roger, when he got hit the one time. So I go out there and say, "You okay?" He said, "Yeah, let me sit here for a second." And I said,
I've been there.
I said, "Let me tell you right now, take as long as you want." But he bounced up and he came right back, and it's tough. Like he is tough now. He's like, "I got to get up. I said, "No, just rest here for a second, then we'll get you up."
And you didn't see a flinch. Those last few drives when you're going down trying to get that win, trying to get some plays, you didn't see a flinch. The ball that Leonard caught, that was perfect. After the previous series where he got hit like he did, there's never a flinch from his perspective. He knows, dude, for the team.
Without a doubt.
I got to keep rolling.
Yes.
And he throws that deep ball. He's a receiver's best friend. He drops it in their pocket. But then sometimes the receiver's got to be his best friend. And you spoke of Dorian Leonard. That dude goes up in traffic and just made some unbelievable catches to give you guys a chance.
Well, you think the one he spun and, he turned his body around to make the catch, and then another time there's one thrown down there, and he has to go up over a guy and takes it from him. Like, he takes it from the guy.
That's big boy ball right there.
That is
nice.
big boy ball. And then the one I think he wanted back was a first drive. Remember, he threw the one in the end zone, and he didn't lead 9.
Yeah.
If he just led 9 far enough, he'd go get that one.
One of the things I remember, because let's go down memory lane with Quan, because he was a pretty good receiver. He had that knack of catching that ball where you had to maybe 10 yards, but you had to lay out. And I don't know if you have the strongest hands, the biggest hands, but what is it about the ability of a receiver to make those kind of catches?
Well, I'll tell you, God gave you a certain amount, and then God gives it to you, but what you do with it is what it's about. It wasn't that I was anything special. It was that I wanted it more than anybody that was coming against me. My job was to beat him. And the pride I took in beating that guy across from me, the pride I took in, man, I'm going to get this ball now, but I don't know when I'm going to get another one. So I'm going to make sure anytime that ball comes my way, it's mine. Like, I took that personal. And that's what you're starting to see with the Johnsons, with the Dorian, with Duvernays, of course, Foreman has that chip.
Yeah.
So many guys, it's becoming so personal. And I tell you, my man wearing number 6 is one of the
He's automatic.
One of the best hands out there. I love it. I take pride in him
Jake's
wearing
gonna come down.
Dude, I mean, how many first downs he's caught knowing that role?
Yeah.
Because some people put me into that role during third down, get the first down. And what Jake's done in that perspective. So I don't know if there's anything special other than the mindset. Like, hey, the ball's coming my way. He trusts me enough to throw it this way. I'm going to prove him right.
Yes. And that's the thing you love, because like you said, those are receivers. It's the ball has been spread around, and you may have 1 or 2 catches, so you got to take advantage of it, because that's all you may have that day. Because you look at Duvernay, he catches the 2 little ones, and then we try to go on top at one time, and we don't get there. But it's so fun to watch how that whole group competes, Roger. And they compete like that at practice. Like, it is a competition, and those guys know, hey, I got to get in. I'm going to get my catches, and I may not get many, but the ones that I get, I better catch.
Well, you talked about it. You say if guys practice hard and well, then they've earned the right. And you've had a unique knack of getting guys who maybe haven't been real productive to kind of come out of their shell. And this year, what an example with Jake Oliver, Corey Warwick, Dory Leonard just on the receiving corps.
Look at Bunny.
John Bunny, Tim Cole.
Tim Cole, yes. And it's like you said, you got guys now that you had said there's no way this is going to happen. When is it going to happen?
Right.
And then Petey, like you said, Corey Warwick, my man Petey, just makes his catches, and he's got the speed, and like he catch that ball there Saturday, and he goes for get the first down. He catches it at 5, make a guy miss, and goes and gets 6 more yards, 11-yard catch. But it's just been fun to watch just the development of some of those guys.
I think that's the key, development. I like that piece.
I got to ask you about your punter, because this guy amazes me. I mean, I watch Michael Dixon, Charlie, and I think of a great golfer that can make the ball do whatever he wants. And he does it with a football.
You know what I say with him? He has a live leg, and it is live. And Roger, you know what, Quan? I don't know if he knows how far he can punt the ball. I really don't. Like, some days we're standing out there practice some days, and it's amazing how the ball comes off his foot, and it travels. And so we're sitting there Saturday during the pregame, and he comes out there, and he's like booming them. So he comes to the sideline. I said, "You just one of those people on the side, see how well you can punt." And then you start laughing. But it is now. He has a live leg, and he can punt. He helps us more than anyone, because you think about it, he changes the field.
Yeah,
he changes the field every time he punts. We can be backed up. At least the ball is going to get to the plus. The other side of the field.
I would hate him. As a return guy, I would hate him. And you just don't know. And now you talk about development. He's always been booming them, but now he's kicking them in the corner. Now he's directionally kicking.
Yes.
Now he's always been good. His leg is extremely live. I've seen so many return men looking like they're catching a deep fly ball in center field, trying to go get his balls. But now he's not even giving them a chance.
Oh, no
he's
chance.
He's kicking it 55 yards and is going out of bounds.
And he's hanging it. And he's hanging it. He's hanging it. It ain't no one of those that just take off. He's hanging it now.
And it looks like he can do different things, maybe depending on the wind or the conditions or where the return guy is. 20 of his 49 punts inside the 29. I mean, he's your best friend as a defensive coordinator.
That's Pro Bowl. If he's in the NFL, that's Pro Bowl.
It's Pro Bowl. And I tell our outside guys, we call gunners, I say, listen, he's going to outkick the coverage. You just you have to run and just run it down because he's going to outkick the coverage. And he, like you said, look at how many he's put inside the 20. It's amazing.
His story is unique, but becoming less unique because the Aussies are starting to churn out the punters.
It is. And we got him kind of late. A guy tells us that he has a punter, and we needed a punter and said, hey, let's take him. And then you just knew, like last year, it was more of him just getting comfortable in the setting. He wasn't really comfortable, but now it's just so fun to watch him. I was like, wow, this cat can really change.
He has that Aussie swag too, man.
He does.
I played with some baseball players from Australia. He has it, but he's earned it.
I don't know if you heard him Monday, Charlie. He said last year I was just praying we'd get a first down.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. But he knows now.
Well, we're going to take a break. We're going to talk, I think it's the other sport near and dear to your heart, volleyball.
Oh, I love volleyball.
Yeah, we're going to talk
What a competitive sport. You know why you love volleyball? There's a point scored every time.
When they went to rally scoring, I thought that was the best move that sport could have made.
And you see, and it's, you know what, you see, don't forget just how athletic some of those young ladies. It's amazing to watch that sport. And now it's all time and, hand-eye coordination going on. I'm not a volleyball coach. I just love watching it.
Same here.
I can just sit back and watch it.
Like the volleyball dad, right?
Yeah, but I love watching it.
When I played baseball, I just played co-ed in the offices.
Well, we're going to do that next. Longhorn Weekly with Charlie Strong, live from Pluckers, continues on the Longhorn IMG Radio Network. Longhorn Weekly continues. Roger Wallace sitting in for Craig Way. We are thrilled to have some members of the UT volleyball team. We got Chloe Collins, a senior from Cypress, and Nicole Dalton, the senior from Parker, Colorado. And Chloe's gonna hang in here with me for a few segments because Chloe, All-American volleyball player, but a budding journalist. And so we're going to let you kind of put that hat on tonight. But first, let's talk about the win last night. You get the bounce-back win last night over Texas Tech. 2 more home matches, including Saturday. What's kind of the mindset of this team heading into the postseason right around the corner?
I think our mindset is just building off that confidence. We had a really great match against against
Texas Tech.
Against Texas Tech. And I think just going into Kansas State, we just want to just build off that and just have that confidence with each other and the chemistry and just keep that going.
Nicole, you were on that national championship team. You have never not known what it is like to not go to a Final Four. I mean, the stats are amazing. How do you guys kind of keep that focus in the regular season and not look too far ahead?
I think we make it a priority to talk about each day at a time, each point at a time. Just every day in practice, just working hard to get better that day. For the next day to come. So I think just getting better each and every day and continuing to build on that.
Well, here's your chance, Chloe. I'm gonna turn it. I know you've got great stories and behind the scenes stuff with your teammates here. So I want you guys to kind of give us a little insight what it's like to be part of maybe the best volleyball program in the nation.
All right, Nicole. So we know that you are our 5th-year senior. Tell us about how your leadership role has just built off just guiding our team this year.
I think coming off last year, we lost a lot of seniors and very important leaders. But I think this year, me, you, Pau, Kate, even the other upperclassmen have really grown and together as a team of leaders just to really be on the same page and lead this team to another Final Four.
And what components do you think that's going to take?
To go to the Final Four? I think it's going to take every ounce of us. I think it does every year, mentally and physically. I think just staying on the same page and just knowing that and believing in each other that we can do it and we can make it there again.
All right, awesome. And now I want to get back into a little bit of personal aspect of you. I know you've had some really tough obstacles as you've been here on the 40 acres, but tell us a little bit about that.
My journey here has been a long and tough one, but it's definitely been a blessing. I came off my freshman year, had one surgery, and then 2 more after that. So it's been some people would say it might be a little unfortunate, but I think it's definitely helped me grow a lot as a person and just, stepping back and seeing how I can be a leader in different ways as well. So.
All right, and what are you looking forward to as the season continues on?
I think just enjoying every second of it, being with y'all, and there's not much time left, which there's a lot of emotions that go into that, being sadness and happiness and different things, but I'm really excited and just taking every day, one day at a time.
That's so great.
I want to jump in, Chloe. You're on pace to graduate in December. You have a degree, and sometimes I think that just slips through the cracks. But talk about earning your degree, still playing, and being the consummate student athlete.
I think being a student athlete requires a lot out of you, and we all know that and have experienced that. But I think being a student athlete at the University of Texas has been absolutely amazing. We have so many different resources and different people that help us out in academics and in the athletics. So it's been really great, and I'm so thankful for my degree here at UT.
And Chloe, how excited are you for December? What a December this could be for you, running the tournament and getting your diploma.
I'm absolutely thrilled. Just to be graduating from the University of Texas is just absolutely amazing. It's something that everyone could wish for, and I'm just truly blessed in that.
I imagine it's pretty cool for your parents, too, to see you guys excel on the court as well as in the classroom. And Nicole, what do you see down the road? Do you have any plans that you'd like to pursue?
It's a little up in the air, but I've been dating my boyfriend for almost 2 years now, long distance, and so I'm planning on moving to Kansas because he's starting nursing school here coming up. So I'm applying to grad school, special education master's there at the University of Kansas, and hopefully be a GA. If not, then, I'll figure it out. Life goes on, right? It'll all figure itself out. But yeah, maybe coach or teach, or I love working with special needs students as well. So
that is awesome.
Yeah,
so great.
Nicole, we appreciate it. We're going to keep Chloe up here to be a traffic cop for me. But again, big round of applause for Nicole Dalton, the senior setter, redshirt senior from Parker, Colorado. Longhorn Weekly continues live from Pluckers on the Longhorn IMG Radio Network. Welcome back, Longhorn Weekly. Head coach Charlie Strong. We're talking Longhorn volleyball. We're live at Pluckers. We continue to visit with Chloe Collins, and we're happy to have Kate Palladino join us, the libero from Pflugerville, right up the road here in Central Texas. And Kate, what has this run been like, not only playing volleyball at the University of Texas, but right in your backyard growing up in Pflugerville, seeing how great this program has been for so many years?
Well, like you said, it is in my backyard, and I grew up coming to Texas and watching the games and getting autographs, and this has been my dream from the very beginning. So, coming here, it's been a dream come true, and I've loved the opportunity, and I'm very thankful for everything, and it's just been great to be a part of it all. So,
Chloe, when you see someone like Kate that comes as a walk-on, and it must be inspiring because doesn't have to do it, could concentrate on school, has already an internship at the spinal rehab and doing some other things. That must be inspiring because you have to have numbers sometimes to get through practices and get through a season.
Right. I have truly admired Kate's work ethic throughout her years here at Texas. She's a phenomenal person. She's a great teammate. She's always giving to everyone around her, and that's something I've truly learned from Kate. And she's just a great person and a great teammate, and I just love her so much. And I'm glad we're all a part of this class together, and just to enjoy the ride.
What was the draw to keep going with your career here as a walk-on, knowing that your time might be limited on the floor, but you have to do everything that everybody else has to do to be a member of this program?
Yeah, well, you definitely have to find ways to keep going, and you have to find other ways to contribute to the game, and I think that's an important part. Being a teammate, and how do you think A-side gets so good every day? You have to challenge your teammates and pressure them, and it's been a good ride, and it's had its up and downs, but you just have to keep finding the positivity, and that's easy being at Texas. So
what does the future hold for you? I mentioned you're at the spinal rehab in Austin and marketing, a degree in sports management, so you got a lot going on. What do you see down the road?
Well, next spring I will have an internship with Spinal Rehab. I will be their marketing intern, so I'll be dealing with their social media and trying to get people to come in to the office. And then after that, I might be pursuing nursing, so trying to go get a master's in nursing, hopefully at UT. So we'll see if I can get prereqs and apply, of course. But maybe down the road, I'm looking to be a nurse, specifically with kids and working in that. So t
tell us a little bit more about Kate there, Chloe.
All right, Kate. let us know about like what are your hobbies and like what else do you like to do?
Well, you know this.
I do know this.
Outside of volleyball, I am a homebody, so I love going home. I love being with my family. I love being with my dogs, and I have 2 dogs. I have a golden retriever and a beagle. And then I have a niece named Riley who's just born. So I love going to visit her and playing, and so that's what I love to do in my free time.
And tell us how important your family's been for you your past years here at Texas.
Oh, they've been so supportive, and I couldn't have done it without them, honestly. They've given me great advice, and they've pushed me when I needed it, and they've just been there, and I'm very thankful. So
it's so great.
What is it like, those wow moments with going to the Final Four? I mean, this program has done it so often, but tell me the feeling when that match happens and that match point happens and your team's going back to play for a national championship.
Well, it's just a rush, all of it. It's just so much fun, and being with your team and experiencing that, and like having all the crowd there and all the support we have, it's awesome. And I just really like it and the experience of it. So,
Chloe, do you guys have to make sure you don't take stuff like that for granted?
Oh, certainly. I think always looking back on it, just know those are truly humbling moments, just to know that you've had the opportunity to play college volleyball at this level, at this great university, just soak it all in, to have something 10 years later on and reflect back, wow, I contributed to that, and I was a part of that, and I left a legacy of winning here at Texas, and I just think that's so great.
Okay, what can you tell us about Chloe as a teammate?
Chloe's awesome. She's a great leader. She's so strong and tough, and just there for everyone all the time, and she works hard in practice. She isn't afraid to challenge us and make us better and demand the best from us. So I love you.
I love you
She's a great
too.
teammate.
All right, Kate Palladino, thank you so much.
problem.
Thanks,
Enjoy
Kate.
your final season here with the University of Texas. Longhorn Weekly continues from Pluckers on West Campus on the Longhorn IMG Radio Network. Longhorn Weekly continues. We're at Pluckers Live as we are talking Longhorn volleyball. UT with 2 more regular season home matches, including Saturday against K-State and then next Saturday against West Virginia at 1 o'clock. Chloe Collins continues, and now we have the All-American Paulina Prieto-Cerame, the transfer from Penn State from San Juan, Puerto Rico. And Paulina, what has this season been like for this Longhorn team as you start to see the postseason right around the corner?
It's been wild. It's been up and down, and there's been a lot of trials, but we've had so much fun. And, being a senior with Kate, Cole, and Chloe has been so much fun, and I'm just excited to see what we're going to bring for this postseason.
Well, as a teammate, Chloe, what does Paulina bring to the court?
Absolute fire and energy. She's just, I don't know, she just comes on the court and just brings everyone alive. She's always just giving to the team, and it's something I've always loved about her. She's just awesome, just screaming her vamos and her let's goes is just a way to just energize our team, and she definitely brings that component.
Well, let's talk about your path from San Juan, Puerto Rico to Penn State to Texas. You played against Texas when you were at Penn State. How did you end up, first of all, at Penn State?
I was recruited by them. It was just in between Texas and Penn State, and obviously both coaches are amazing. They're legends in their own way, and I chose to go to Penn State, and I realized that I wasn't happy there, although it was a great program, and we won a championship there my time there, and I'm very happy to be here. So I'm excited to finish out my last year here and on a good note, and just I'm very grateful for my time here at Texas.
What is it about Texas and playing for this program that's been so special for you?
Just the family aspect that we have with the girls and the coaches. It's been awesome. Just growing as a person. I've grown so much being here with role models and my teammates and my coaches and all the wonderful people that I've met here that have helped me do that. And it's just been an awesome ride, and I really don't want to go. So
I want to ask both of you, what is it like when Greg Jim is really rocking in there?
Oh, it's breathtaking. It's just unbelievable feeling. I don't know. It just all your adrenaline's running. You know your fans are with you through everything always, but it's just a rush of adrenaline to me, just knowing that not only do I have my teammates back and they have my back, but also 4,000 plus people have my back as well. And it doesn't get any better than that.
What about for you, Paulina?
Yeah, it's just one of the coolest gyms, I think, in the country. I saw a lot of gyms in the Big Ten, and I've seen a lot of them in the Big 12, and I honestly can say our gym is the best. And when we fill it up, it's awesome. So just keep coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on out on Saturday when they're back in action. And again, when you achieve so much, the expectations, how do you handle expectations of, it's Texas, they're going to get to the Final Four game, but it's a tough ride, and everyone wants to knock you guys off. How do you kind of handle that pressure?
I think just by taking it, first of all, one season at a time, and then breaking it down just one game at a time to even 1 point at a time. You know, we don't focus on what's ahead, just focus on us and what we can do now to get better for later. And I think that's been a strong component of Texas volleyball and why we have been so successful.
How hungry are you knowing that the end is kind of near of your UT career? You got a few more matches and then the postseason.
Yeah, we've been hungry. So we're just excited. We're just knowing that these are our last few weeks as a college volleyball player, and all that brings with it is, it's bittersweet, and we're just trying to enjoy the game and enjoy each other since it might be our last time together.
Yeah.
So.
But you want to play beyond college, pro aspirations?
Yes, I do. That's what I know how to do.
Well, there you go. That's awesome. Paulina Prieto-Sarame, thank you so much, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Scott.
And Chloe, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Our guest host, Chloe Collins. Charlie Strong joins us next as Longhorn Weekly continues from Pluckers on the Longhorn IMG Radio Network.
Down he goes at the 28-yard line. Malcolm Roach with the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
Welcome back, Longhorn Weekly with Charlie Strong. The coach joins us again. Boy, Malcolm Roach, coach, I mean, you talk about, you kind of talk about Malcolm and Breckenhager together, and you've always said when you put them on the field, something's going to happen.
Something's going to happen, Roger. Now, most of the time it's good for us, but it's going to be a collision, and it's going to be a full-speed collision. And you watch those two guys, and when they're out there, it's just I love watching them because they just go so hard, and they play the game with so much passion and so much energy. Is what you look for, and that's the way they play the game.
I thought it was interesting. A few weeks ago, you were asked about calling the defenses, and you said I called 4, and they thought you called 4 out of the 100 plays. But is that one of the things that you've done as a play caller on defense? Do you have to make it, I don't want to say simpler, that's not fair, but calls that let them play a little freer?
Well, you know what you have to do is just you need to put them in a position where they can make plays, and the less you do, the more plays they'll make. And so that's what I try to do is just make sure, hey, when we call a play, hey, listen, guys, this is what we're going to do. You guys all understand it. There's no thinking involved. Just put your hand in the ground and just go like you got to go, and just go play like like your hair's on fire. But it's been fun to watch.
You took the ball for the first time on Saturday.
Well, everybody's, the offense guys, they want it. The defense, like, hey, let the offense have it. Said we can take it and score. We took it and scored, and it's, sometimes I kind of go back and forth because I always want the ball at the start of the second half. And I know if I take it early, then I got to give it up. And now, getting it back at the second half, I won't be able to get it.
I think it was Quincy who made the call, and we were going, wait, he said we want the ball.
And I told him, I said, hey, Bastard, make sure we take the football. Then he said, word. I said, then they get the choice of how they want to finish. You just say, yes, we're going to take that football.
All right, you're going on the road. Weather has not been an issue all year. Looks like it's going to be nice at Kansas, but it can always be windy at Kansas. Does that affect anything that you guys do, especially offensively?
Well, no, because this. Whenever you do have to win, you got to take advantage of the throwing game, and if you're throwing against it, you just got to make sure that you don't hang a ball, lay up a ball where it hangs in the air on you. But it's just you got to be effective, and you just got to know we're going to run the football, we're going to pound it. And even with Dixon today, we was just talking about his punting and how we got to be able some of those balls. If it's windy, we're going to have to kind of line drive them and get them down the field.
What's your threshold here for short sleeves to long sleeves to coat?
I won't go a coat. I just, stay with what I always wear. I just feel like it's too much on. You have a jacket on, it's just too much for me.
You brought the gray out in Lubbock.
I had to break that gray out on you. It's something a little different. Everybody kept saying the road warriors, y'all can't win on the road. I said, well, let me change up my sweater and see if I can.
Well, you talked about this team and one more chance here, and then you come home. It's not a real quick turnaround, but very quickly the obstacle of having to play again next Friday.
Oh, it is, because, you play and then you got to come bounce back that Friday, and so we just got to be ready to go get it done.
There you have it. Longhorns in Kansas, 2:30 in Lawrence, and then back home on Friday at 2:30 to close out the regular season against TCU. That will do it from Pluckers in West Austin. This has been Longhorn Weekly with head coach Charlie Strong. For Craig Way, I'm Roger Wallace. Good night, everybody.